This video is made possible by my patrons on Patreon. Hello everyone, my name is Xiomaro and welcome to one of my first videos about Overwatch. Quickly before I start, something I will do soon is some tutorials. It's something I've been apprehensive about because there are a lot of Overwatch tutorials on YouTube already. However, I'm going to be taking a unique approach to it. It's not that my playstyle is completely unique, actually my playstyle is quite common, but a lot of YouTubers have a kind of, how should I say this, politically correct approach to tutorials. And by that I mean, sometimes it feels like YouTubers say what people want them to say while missing out some important but perhaps controversial advice. Most of it is with the best intentions, but you know the old saying, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing? I feel like that often applies to Overwatch players. They know a little, but they might be missing some key details, like someone might know that you shouldn't overextend, but they don't know when an aggressive push is actually advisable, and staying behind spamming "group up with me" instead of enabling a push is akin to throwing. Or they might know that communication is important, but they don't know how to actually use that information. These are things I'll get into soon. But first, I actually want to get good at this game again. I was high masters in multiple seasons on multiple accounts, but I stopped playing the game around the time Moira was released, which is actually when I started playing Battle Right. So surprise, surprise, I'm super rusty and still getting my head around the new meta because a lot has changed. Moira and Brigitte have totally changed the way the game is played, and on top of that, there have been some massive reworks to other characters, including a small change to my main hero, Pharah. I've kind of said to myself that I at least want to get back to Masters before I do tutorials, and I may start doing them before then, but in the meantime, I'm gonna analyze some of my more iffy games. I actually got off to a great start this season after tanking my rating last season through testing new heroes and strats. I want to expand my hero pool, which is super important, but you're always going to lose rating when you do it. It's just something you have to go through to become a better player. So far this season, I've won 12 games and only lost 3. I would prefer to use a losing game to analyze, and I will be doing that next time, but one loss was due to someone disconnecting, so not a lot to learn there, and the other 2 were down to some very tilted players, and again, there just wasn't enough to learn from it. So instead, I've chosen a game where I made a lot of mistakes. I'm playing heroes I want to learn, and honestly, I kinda got carried. We won, but it could have been easier if I played better. So let's jump in and learn something. So we start out on Attack on Temple of Anubis. This is a map where I'm very comfortable playing Pharah. You'll often get someone playing Widowmaker on the enemy team, but I know how to play around it. Or at least I usually do. So I start off doing what I almost always do. I boop the Reinhardt off the high ground. That means our other DPS can maybe get a pick while they have no shield, or it might give our tanks another way to engage if they choose to. I also identify that they have a Widowmaker, and luckily their aim is a little off. I move into the side room to break her line of sight, which was good, but I then make some decision-making errors. So here, I'm kinda just shooting the shield, which in some comps might have been okay, but we don't have a shield-breaking comp, so I should have just shot over the shield at the squishies behind. I also try to peek the Widow to get a sneaky kill. It's often a good idea to eliminate your counters first and then you have free reign, but in this situation it would have been hard for her to get an angle on me anyway, so I should have just ignored her and pumped damage into her team. After losing half my team, I honestly thought they'd push us to stagger the 3 remaining people, so I kinda just pushed forward to farm ult and suicide, but you know, just plat things, they just leave us alone and allow us to regroup. And that's one of those mistakes I was talking about earlier. People are way too safe when they could get an easy advantage. A Mercy, Moira and Pharah are hardly a threat to a full team. Anyway, we managed to regroup and good job Zio, you make the exact same mistakes again. Once again, I spam the shield and then mess up my movement while going for the Widow a second time. This time though, I luck out and me and the Doomfist secure the kill. Luckily, I have a Mercy pocket which allows me to go in for a very aggressive ultimate. The timing and positioning of it was pretty good, but I don't quite get as much value as I would have liked. I feel like it was worth it though, especially with the Mercy res, it secures the point for us. With the Widowmaker coming back in and staggering her spawn, I decide to make a very quick push onto point B to maybe get an opening pick, but unfortunately the enemy Hanzo manages to sneak under me while obscured by my rocket model. I still don't regret the quick push. That's how you snowball a game, especially when you've already staggered one of them. So it was the correct play in my opinion, it just didn't work out. But again, the Mercy has my back and reses me. From there, aside from some sketchy aiming, I'm happy enough with my decision making, and my team does a great job of cleanly wiping the enemy. Now, onto the defense. This is where I made some huge errors. I contemplated going Pharah or Junkrat because they're comfort picks for me on this map, but I went with Sombra, a hero I'm learning at the moment. I've actually had some great Sombra games, but this was not one of them. But for the purposes of this video, it gives us something to learn. So I place my translocator on the Mega and stealth to their spawn. Usually what I'm looking for here is an opening pick on someone who's split from their team. If they have a Zen, then I'll almost always go for them, or I'm looking to get some early ult charge. The Ana would have been a good target, but she was too close to her team, so I go for the Winston instead. In hindsight, I should have tried to hack him first. I might have got some more ult charge that way, but oh well. For the rest of this fight, I get a bit tunnel visioned on trying to hack the tanks when I should have just been shooting more. Honestly, my positioning was just so bad in this fight. I had a lot of opportunities to teleport to the high ground, but I just didn't do it. From there, I would have easily got more hacks off, and I would have built more ult charge too. Identifying that I'm having basically no impact, I make the decision to pick up our Mercy who got picked off. And I follow this up with a good hack onto the Pharah, and this is probably the first good play that I make. Next, I make a halfway decent play that with a bit of tweaking could have been really good. I head to the back line to hack the D.Va and finish off farming my ult. Not a bad idea. I teleport back to the fight, but what I should have done is wait for my translocator to come back, thrown it to the high ground, and then EMP'd and teleported to safety. The EMP wasn't bad, but I could have survived. And had I survived, I could have stopped the D.Va bomb, and we maybe would have held point A a little longer. But, oh well, I guess that's what we're here for. To learn. I often do make better plays, but this is quite normal when learning a new hero. You're going to be inconsistent. Sometimes you'll make perfect plays, sometimes you'll land a little short of making that perfect play. Onto point B, I do the same translocator on the Mega and go for a pick, and I actually managed to catch the Pharah. This was actually a pretty good play because she had the potential to get a snowball going, so I'm quite happy with that. After that, I make the mistake of going for the same play. Honestly, with any flanky mobile hero, you really want to avoid becoming predictable. I tried to pick off the Hanzo, fail, but escape with my life. And now is when I should really have changed my game plan. I was just totally on autopilot here. I literally went for the same play 3 times, and obviously the enemy caught on. Oh, the Sombra keeps going for picks. I bet she's teleporting to the Mega, and yep, the Winston comes sniffing around. I had every opportunity to get back to my team here as well, but no! I tried to duel their main tank, and guess what? The rest of their team knew I was there as well, so I basically threw the game there. But luckily, our Ryan did some serious work in this game and clutches the fight with a great shatter. I consider going Tracer, a hero I'm much more comfortable with, but I stick with Sombra for now. I manage a great hack onto the Pharah, but I just didn't follow it up. I should really have tried to kill her while she was grounded, especially because I could see she had her ultimate. But I didn't. I just stayed tunnel visioned on farming my EMP. So yeah, she gets her ult off, and again, I try to hack when I should have just dealt damage. So that's definitely something I need to work on, learning when to hack and when to just deal damage. She was well within my effective range, and she would have died a lot faster if I just shot her. Now, something quite funny happens. Winston just kind of hides at the bottom. I didn't have enough health to try and duel him, so I just fall back. And what I didn't expect was for him to just stay there. It kind of looks like he didn't see me, so I try to hack him and instantly he comes back to life. Now, final Sombra mistake. Winston gets nanoed, and I was in range to hack him before he could interrupt me, but I hesitate and just kinda panic EMP instead. Oh boy, so many mistakes. So at this point, I'm just like, you know what? Today's not a good Sombra day. So I just switched to Mei, who I'm way more comfortable with. And from there, while I do make some mistakes as Mei, I mainly wanted to focus on my Pharah and Sombra play. Plus, Mei isn't really one of my staple picks. I'm kind of a fair weather Mei player. If I can just be a cheeseball and stall with her, or if I'm playing into a heavy tank comp, I'll totally do it, but I won't pick her in most other situations. So, I know people are going to pick apart my plays and say I played badly, and yes, I played badly. But you know what? That's the point of the video. This is something I'm doing anyway. I save my bad games and I figure out where I'm going wrong. So I figured I may as well do it on YouTube so maybe you guys can learn with me. I'm not really a frag video kind of guy. I do make lots of good plays in other games, but there's nothing to really learn from those. When I do tutorials and I just need some generic background footage, I'll probably show some better plays. So if you want to see me on my game, then you'll be able to see it when I do those. So keep an eye out for that. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please feel free to subscribe for more gaming guides, news, and discussion. And don't forget to check out the links below to Patreon, Discord, and Twitch. Until next time, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.